Hey, Mr. Sato, back here with part 4 of What If Goku was an Angel Saiyan hybrid. Now, after the events of part 3, we have Trunks, Goku, and Gotenks training. Trunks and Goten are sparring against Goku, and they're doing pretty bad, as they can't even hit Goku. But this is because he is an Ultra Instinct, of course. So, after a bit of sparring, Goku would leave to go train with Beerus, leaving Goten to go do his secret training with Gohan. Goten likes to train with Super Saiyan Blue when he's with Gohan, so he can get a better master over the form, since Gohan was the first to obtain this form. Because Goku doesn't have Super Saiyan Blue. And this is actually going to be important later. So, Gohan and Goten would be training. And Gohan had been slacking off on training and only training with Raditz every now and then. So, Goten's base form, and thus being his Super Saiyan Blue form, becomes stronger than Gohan's. But the more they train, the more Gohan gets stronger than Goten, and then Goten it flips back and forth between the two. And after a couple of days of this continuous rotation between Trunks and Goku, and then training with Gohan, Whis would finally notice the growth rate of Goten's strength, and would eventually go down to train him. But Goten doesn't want to train by himself, as he sees that as boring. So he asks if Whis can train Trunks as well, and Whis agrees to this. So Goten and Trunks would then start trying to attack Whis. Whis would dodge these attacks effortlessly, but their teamwork was formidable, being leagues greater than Vegeta and Goku's. After a couple of hours of continuous attacks, the two boys would be tired out, and Whis would tell them that was enough for the day. Then, the next day, it was the same thing, but they could tell they were getting better with every day. As every day passed, weeks and months passed. Until, finally, Whis would have the idea for them to combine their power. And they didn't know how this would work. And Whis would tell them about the fusion technique. He knows that he knows of the Patara fusion and the Metamorph fusion. But he also knows that the Patara fusion is permanent. Well, for God. Since no one used the Patara fusion in the Majin Buu arc, they don't know that it's not permanent for mortals. And this is their first time ever hearing of the Metamorph fusion, because Goten and Trunks didn't need to fuse. So, they would begin to train to fuse with each other, and they would fail miserably. It would take them actually 3 weeks to just get the dance down. And they would still have to it was still kind of hard for them to get their power levels on the same level. But after a month of training for the dance, they were able to pull it off. And they pulled it off in their most powerful forms. This was the birth of Super Saiyan Blue 4 Gotenks. And Super Saiyan Blue 4 Gotenks would immediately go to challenge Goku. Goku would be confused, as he doesn't know fusion, and he doesn't know who this person is. But he has similar ki to to Goten and Trunks. And Goten and Trunks will reveal that they fuse and have only a couple, maybe around 20 to 15 minutes left in their fusion. So they better start sparring now. And without a second doubt, Goku would then go into autonomous Ultra Instinct, and they would begin to brawl. They would disappear and reappear all across the world, as the Earth had become their arena. And Goku would have realized that they were probably going to destroy the Earth at this rate. So he would place his hand on Gotenks and teleport to a different planet before continuing to battle. Their battle would be so intense that it would shake the universe, causing Beerus to get angry. But he didn't bother. He has no energy to deal with this. And especially because the two both Gotenks and Goku would, together, they would beat Beerus pretty badly. And he doesn't have time to get beat by mortals. So he would wait. Well, he thinks of waiting until they defuse. But even then, he falls asleep. So he ends up forgetting all about it. They would continue to fight, clashing fists, until Gotenks would then kick Goku in the ribs and then flying to the ground. And they would then fire a full-power Gallic Kamehameha wave, as Goku would power up full-power Kamehameha wave, and they would clash in beams, each beam pushing past the other until finally Goten had won the beam struggle and defused at the same time, thus losing most of the power in that Kamehameha wave, where Goku was able to tank it without going unconscious or losing the Ultra Instinct form. And from there, Goku would then chop the necks of Goten and Trunks, pulling off a fast win. Well, not a fast win, just a clutch win. Goten had a good idea, but he needed to learn something from Trunks first. And he would ask Trunks to teach him how to go into the Super Saiyan 4 form. And Trunks would tell him that he would need to teach him how to go Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. And they would make the deal. So Trunks would teach Gotenks how to go Super Saiyan 4. And after another month or two, he was able to get it down, because it took him the first month and a half to actually learn how to control his Ozaru. And then it took him the second half a month to actually stack Super Saiyan on top of the form. And his power was amazing, being just a little bit higher than Trunks. And these two are stronger than the main canon times Super Saiyan Blue Goku during the Tournament of Power are even stronger than, not too much stronger, but they're stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. But yeah, they're stronger than a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. That goes to show, well, they're the third strongest out of the Z fighters, because it goes Goku, Goten, Gohan, Trunks, and Raditz, Raditz being the weakest, as he still doesn't know how to go God yet, but he's getting close. Goten would then go in the time chamber for a whole year. Well, for a day on the roll, but a year. He would go in the time chamber for a year, because he could finally put his idea into motion, and this idea would very well make him out of Trunks' league, which kind of upset him. But I mean, he's kind of glad to get stronger, because he'll end up being stronger than his dad. So after the year, Trunks would finally realize that Goten had won in the time chamber, and he would go up to the time chamber to see if he was coming out anytime soon. And as he would fly up, he would see the time chamber door swing open, and he would see Super Saiyan Blue 4 Goten. Goten had got the idea after seeing the Super Saiyan Blue 4 Gotenks. And this amazed Trunks. Goten's power was that on the level of Goku's Ultra Instinct, even surpassing that. And this form wouldn't last long, though, as Goten's body could still barely handle it. So he'd fall back into his base before getting took back down to Earth and getting fed a senzu bean by Trunks. Oh, and we're skipping the Universe 6 tournament arc because we know how that's going to go. Everyone's going to get wiped. Well, everyone from Universe 6 is going to get wiped. So we're going to go straight into the Goku Black arc with some changes. So we're skipping straight to when Goku Black appears, because future Trunks doesn't appear this time, and only Goku Black appears. This is because future Trunks had got killed this time. Goku Black would then begin to fight Goku and Gohan, and he would be holding his own, but both of them together was pretty challenging, as he would then open up a portal and begin to return back to the future timeline. And this is when Goten and Trunks would charge at him and go straight through the portal, and it would close. Goten and Trunks would begin to fight Goku Black. And while they were fighting Goku Black, they would realize that Goku Black has a similar fighting style to Goten. So Goten was able to come up with a strategy. Goten was pretty much like the main attacker, while Trunks tried to find ways to sneak in little attacks so they can actually do some damage. But Goku Black's overwhelming power was too much for them. Goku Black had got done toying around with them, as he would go into Super Saiyan Rose. And this would trouble Goten's, as he realized something, and he would get kicked back. Trunks would then go over to Goten and ask him what was wrong. And Goten would say, "That's not my dad. It's me." For this, Goten would figure out that this was him, because he knows that his father can't go Super Saiyan Blue. And he knows that this is some kind of version of Super Saiyan Blue, because it has a similar feeling. And Trunks would then go into Super Saiyan 4 and begin to fight. They would begin to fight, going blow for blow. It was obvious that Goten Black, or just Goten, and for now, had the advantage. He would begin to bully Trunks, kneeing him in his gut and throwing him to the ground repeatedly. Then Goten Black would say, "That tail is quite pesky. We might as well get rid of it." as a Keyblade would appear around his hand, and he would start walking to Trunks. This would make Goten scream out in pain. Well, not in pain, but like in anger. And he would go into Super Saiyan Blue 4 and begin to beat down on Goten Black. Goten Black stood no chance, as Goten was leagues above him. Goten would punch him in his gut before grabbing his arm and judo slamming him onto the ground, as he would then bombard him with multiple ki blasts to the face. And then he would kick Goten Black into the air and launch a full power Kamehameha wave. And as the dust cleared, he would see Goten Black in Super Saiyan 4 Rose, or Super Saiyan Rose 4, whichever one you prefer. Goten having more experience in the form, and Goten Black having more power in the form. They would begin to clash. Each clash sending shockwaves throughout the universe. And they would repeatedly clash fists until Goten would be caught off guard by Goku Black sending a ki blast towards Trunks, which would force Goten to block it for Trunks, as he was then beginning to get beat on by Goten Black. And this would anger Trunks, as his pupils would disappear and a large blue aura would appear around himself. Trunks had gone into some kind of rage, similar to Super Saiyan Rage, or Rage, whatever they called it, but this time it's in the Super Saiyan 4 form. And Goten would get back up. The two together would overpower Goten Black, and eventually they would destroy him. Then Zamasu and Goten Black would eventually do that. They would do their fusion, which would cause Goten and Trunks to do their fusion. And eventually Goten and Trunks would win, causing Zamasu to merge with the planet or something, or it was either the planet or the universe. But he merged with one of those, and instead of them calling Zenny, because they can't do that, they don't have the button, I'm gonna just say, for the sake of saving these two, that Zeno appears and decides to end it right now, because he could feel it from where he was. So he decides to end it himself. He erases the universe, and they get out of there. And when they returned, they would fall into their bases, as they would see Vegeta fighting Goku. And they would instantly start to charge at Vegeta in their weakened states before Goku would stop them, explaining how while they were gone, Vegeta had came back. And they thought he was going to come back for revenge, but he was pretty tame. But he was actually pretty tame and didn't try to fight them. He just asked if he could train with Goku. So they would let their guard down at the moment, still being pretty, they suspected something from Vegeta. But he seemed to be normal. That's where I'm going to end this off. Hopefully you guys liked it, and hopefully I made this different from most other what ifs, because that was kind of the whole goal here, to make it different from different what ifs, make it different from other what ifs. Other than that, goodbye.